A while back I had a corn cob run through the CV boot on my side-by-side and directly into the CV. And anyways, had to change the boot, so I wanted to show what that entailed, because it was a little bit more involved than I was hoping. But basically, I'm not going to do a walkthrough of it, but I'll show you what you got to do. First thing you got to do is take out your top and bottom knuckle bolts, and then take your big nut loose on your axle. It's 1.25 inches. These are 19 on the nut side and 17 on the head of the bolt. Anyways, get your axle out. I put a bolt back in the top of that so it wasn't hanging from the brake line, and then you got to pop the axle out of the inside, which is just like any other CV. And I used a pry bar with a hook on it, got behind it, popped it right out. They go into oil, so it came out real easy. But to get the boot off, this is the outer, this is the inner. I believe there must be a snap ring on the back side of the roller cage, and I think you're going to have to destroy the snap ring to get that end off. So what I ended up doing was putting everything on from this end. So what that entailed was take your clamps off your other boot, slide the boot up, and there's a snap ring on the inside of this that's got a it's just a round, kind of like a circlip. Pop that out, let's shake the whole cup off, then you'll just have your 6 balls in the cage for the CV part. And then there's an external snap ring on the end of the shaft that holds the inner race of the CV on. So take that off, pull the inner hub off, and then you'll be down to your axle. And that lets you go ahead and slide a new boot on this end, pack it full of grease. This is what I used. It's made a little bit different. This has 2 grooves inside there, and then a groove inside here, and the boot does not. It's basically smooth inside, whereas the factory Yamaha has 2 grooves molded in there and then a groove molded in there. And I would probably, if I was doing it again, use an OE boot. And then I didn't like the new clamps they sent, and these aren't reusable, so I ended up using wire. I've got a tool I made similar to I don't remember what the brand is, but that's the thing I used. I've had good luck with them in the past, so if they cause a problem, I'll probably just put a regular hose clamp on it. But installation is reverse of removal. That's about all I can add, I believe. One more thing. I think if you jack this thing up from just the left side and get the side up off the ground, I think that'll raise that up enough. You won't lose any oil out of the differential. It did leak. I'm leaning that way a little bit, and it still leaked. From what I'm reading, it takes 80-90. But I think if you jack that up a little higher on this side, had some more angle, I don't think any oil will leak out of that, and you wouldn't have to add any. But that was one detail I forgot to mention.